Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. I am, I have a little time to kill. I have to go to the doctor. So I was just like, let me just jump on here because I was thinking about something and it has just been a reoccurring theme in my life, probably since maybe last year. Like, I just keep noticing the same thing over and over and over. And so I want to talk about it just for a minute. I only have like a few 20 minutes maybe. So so yesterday I had to go get a tooth pulled. My side tooth. It hurts to lose a good side tooth, you know what I mean? Just I love those side tooth jokes. Anyway, um you know, like I was scared because I had to get my wisdom teeth pulled out and it made a crunching noise and but I had to go to oral surgeon this time. So he just like popped that thing right out. I don't know what he did. He just gave me some drugs and I was like, do whatever, take out all my teeth if you want to. I don't even care. Like he could have just done whatever he wanted at that point. And it was like 3 seconds, it was out, no pain, no nothing. Went home. Put the bandages in, took the medicine. I took some Motrin or whatever they gave me and I was fine. I woke up this morning, never didn't even hurt. It was fine. But I noticed this common thing. I noticed as soon as they took it out, I was like, oh, I don't have that pain anymore that's like throbbing through my head that I didn't realize was pain because I had grown so used to it. I didn't even know I had a cavity. Like I have a really high pain tolerance. And so a lot of times I don't even notice when I'm in pain, right? I don't even notice. I just live with pain. That's just like, that's just how it is. That's just how it be sometimes. I'm just walking around in pain. I don't even know it. I had a whole surgery, didn't even feel any of it afterwards. I think my tooth last night, like right before bed, it was hurting a little bit. I had to take some more Motrin. I think that hurt worse than my whole gallbladder surgery. So I have a weird relationship with pain, physical pain, and probably emotional pain too, who knows. But you know, I don't notice that things don't hurt until after they don't hurt anymore. And then I'm like, oh, I feel better. That feels better. I didn't know that wasn't supposed to feel like that. And it's so weird because I feel like even last year I noticed it when they fixed my hip. My hip had been out of alignment for like 2 years. And so when they fixed my hip, I was like, oh, I can walk straight. Oh, that wasn't supposed to be like that. Oh, I'm not in pain anymore. It's the weirdest thing how sometimes we don't even notice we're in pain until we're not in pain. And so, this week, well, not just this week, but a lot of times I talk to people who just live in chronic pain. Not physical pain, emotional pain. They live in suffering. They live in the silent suffering. They live in the self-made prison in their mind a lot of times. They don't even know that life could be different. They don't even realize that life could be happy. They don't even know that there's more possibilities out there. They don't even know that I think they love their pain. They have grown so accustomed to their pain. And so that's what humans do. Like I think we just have, like, we adapt to, you know, we adapt to our suffering. And so we just find coping mechanisms to deal with the pain. We numb ourselves from our pain. We drink to numb our problems. We, doom scroll to numb our problems. We take drugs to numb our problems. We date a bunch of people to numb our problems. There's people that cheat on their spouses because they can't face their problems, and they just jump from one relationship to another because they need that dopamine rush of the validation from one person to the next because they can't sit with their problems. They can't be in a relationship where the other person might figure out that, hey, they're not perfect, And so we all have that coping mechanism to deal with our emotional pain. And most of our emotional pain is from childhood or childhood trauma or, young adolescent first love, getting your heart crushed from your first love, all kinds of stuff that scar us for life. And then we spend the rest of our lives trying to heal ourselves, basically, but poorly because we use things other than Jesus to fix our pain. And so, um, uh, I was just sitting with that this morning about these comments. Y'all are crazy. This is crazy. Yeah, what are y'all even doing? I'm not gonna pay attention to y'all. Anyway, uh, I was just sitting with it this morning because I'm sitting here thinking how many things when my gallbladder got taken out a few months ago, I have had pure bliss ever since then, because all that pain that I had been living in for like apparently a long time has been gone, and I'm like back to normal and I feel really good. Just one simple thing, and I had no idea that it was even like, I had never had a gallbladder attack until the day I had the gallbladder attack, right? So like I didn't know that it was actually causing me that many problems, and then they take it out and it's been amazing ever since. So a lot of times we sit in our pain until and we don't even realize that we are in pain. A lot of times we just want to escape from, mentally we'll use, like I said, any number of things to escape from our pain. We stay busy. A lot of people do that, where they just I gotta stay busy. I gotta do stuff. I can't sit still, because as soon as I sit still, I'm gonna think about all my problems. So they'll stay busy until they crash out, And then you got people that just lay around and are mopey and depressed and just doom scroll and feel sorry for themselves. And then I'm pretty sure that some people are straight up addicted to the drama of their pain. And they like, a lot of times what I notice in codependent type relationships, you have the one person who is like, that likes to hurt the other person, but the other person, it's like this dynamic of like, I'm going to hurt you and then I'm going to heal you. I'm going to hurt you and I'm going to heal you. And the other person's like, oh, hurt me, heal me, hurt me, heal me, and they're in this like roller coaster of like hurting and healing each other. And it's like this addictive thing, right? Because we so want that other person to be our savior and to heal us and to be our God and fix us. And what they're doing is they're tapping into your root of rejection from your parents not loving you, and they're just rejecting you. So you're like, love me, love me, love me, and then they're like, okay, here's a little droplet of love. And then, you're all better until the next time they do it. And it's just like, it's this crazy, crazy human things that we do, these coping mechanisms to not feel pain, and all the while, most of us are just walking around in pain all the time. And, yeah, so I just want to say, like, I feel like a lot of the ways that the Lord has healed me from emotional pain are very surprising to me. So like when you break your arm and you go to the doctor will sometimes have to break that thing again to reset it, to get it right. And then it'll heal up normally. Right. And that's kind of the way the Lord has healed me in a lot of ways. He has like put me in positions that straight up hurt my soul. And I come out the other side like, oh man, I am healed. Like, how did that even happen? But it was because I had to face those early childhood wounds and those early childhood things that had damaged me to begin with. But I had to face them as an adult and not use a coping mechanism like drugs or men or sex or whatever my favorite things are to like, to numb myself. And I just had to face those things head on directly. And once I did, and I realized, oh, you didn't die. You're okay. You're safe. You know what I mean? And then it's like, that's how you get healed from it. It's like doing it sober, The other day I started going to therapy, last week because I've just never been to therapy, and my best friend just died, and I figured now was a good time to go talk to someone about grief and what I'm going through, because I don't have my support system here that I had back home. And I'm going through a lot of stuff. And so and here I've never had to deal with grief sober before. So anytime anyone in my life has ever died, I just go get high. Like, I stay high for years. Probably still never grieved over most of them because I was high the whole time. So this person that dies, that's close to me, I'm like, oh, I'm scared. I don't know how to not get through this sober, so I'm going to go talk to someone. And I even told her, I was like, this is one of the biggest challenges in my life. How do I get through? I need to learn how to grieve soberly. I need to face this sober minded. I need to to not grieve high. I need to, or not numb myself so I don't feel the pain, so like for real, it's hard as, when we're trying to be healthy minded adults to get through pain in a sober, sound mind and not avoid, because you don't even have to use drugs. You can use any number of things to not feel pain. To not use drugs or sex or just, escapism of any sort, staying busy, anything like that. To really embrace your pain, to feel it, and to move and to heal from it. Because God designed us in a way to grieve. We are human. It is normal to grieve, even when Lazarus died, and everyone was around the tomb and they were all crying. Jesus wept, he knew he was going to bring him back to life, but he still wept. And it's debatable why he cried, whether it was for their unbelief or he was just feeling their pain and whatever. But either way, Jesus himself cried. And so he created us to mourn, to grieve other people, the loss in our lives, whether that's a loss of friendships, a loss of relationships, a loss of, someone dies, loss is loss, and grief is there to heal that. And so anyway, I was just thinking, like, how many times I've truly been healed from something, but I actually had to go through a harder pain to get the healing. I actually had to sit in my pain, not escape from it, to get the healing. I actually had to go through a situation that was triggering all my traumas to get the healing from that situation. You know what I mean? So I had to, like, literally sit with pain to get healing. And so sometimes it's just facing the thing you don't want to face. Sometimes it's just like feeling the thing you don't want to feel. It's just to heal from it. And there's a verse I just like that always comes to mind when I think of this, and it's, by his wounds we are healed. Sometimes the Lord will wound us in order to heal us. He will literally have to re-break what was broken to heal us. But when the Lord heals us from those pains, we are free. We are healed. We will never have to endure that same type of suffering again. But truly, there's a million and one ways to escape our pain and escape the facing the things that we don't want to face. So I challenge you today to just sit in something that hurts and actually feel it, because that's the only way to truly get set free from something. And anyway, have a great day. Love you guys.